So welcome to the last step of our project. You should have all of your coloring done. Please make sure that you have at least one blue square, one yellow square, one red square, and you left one white. Okay, those should be the only three colors that you used, and you should have at least one square white. Now you'll notice I have a lot of squares white. That's okay. I have two blue. I could have done this whole side blue if I wanted. I could have added another yellow or lots of yellow. I could have added more red, but this is what I chose. All right. So we're going to need a glue bottle. I hope you've watched the how to glue and the introduction to how a glue bottle works video. Before we start gluing, we are going to arrange all of our strips. So what we're doing here is we're kind of looking at the thickness of our strips and maybe what might work better on our picture. Okay. Now, if you did it right, you should have a large option of strips. Okay. Some being wider and then some being nice and skinny. Okay. If you have two lines that are really close together, especially like these two that are really close, you might want to use your skinnier strips. So what we're going to do is place them over the top of our lines, not gluing yet, just seeing how it looks. Okay, and you have the option of moving it just so that it touches that line there. Everyone see how I'm doing that? Okay, or you can go right in the middle. You'll notice that that definitely shrinks our squares. So if you have really, really skinny lines, that's why I thought some of those skinnier strips might work better for you. And I'm going to use this wide one up here. Okay. Now I have all three going the same direction first. So it doesn't matter if you do all the vertical ones first or the horizontal. Just don't do some horizontal, some vertical, and I'll explain a little bit why. So I did all of my horizontal. Next, I'm going to lay my vertical ones over the top. Okay. Again, I'm checking to see, I like how this looks, but I don't like how thick that one is. So maybe I trade it in for a skinnier one. All right. So you will notice that all of my strips go off the edge of the paper. We're not worried about that right now. And so I have everything on here the way that I have decided I like. So my other strips I'm going to put off to the side, or I can recycle them. But until I'm fully done cutting, or not cutting, but gluing, I want to maybe keep them somewhere just in case I need a different one. Then what I need to do is I need to take these ones off, the ones that are going vertical, because I'm just going to work with the ones that I put on first. And what I would like to do is I kind of like to take them off in order. So I'm going to keep this one here, and I know that that one's the furthest one out. And then I'm going to slide this one next to it. I know that that one's this one. And then my third one I'll put there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to start at the top. You could start at the bottom. And all I'm going to do is slide that up a little bit. For me, since it's so far up, sliding it up takes it right off the paper. And I am now going to make my first glue line. Okay, so again, we open the glue bottle, right? We're going to touch the paper and hold the glue bottle on a slant. Okay, and all we're going to do is go right on that line. And now stop. Okay, so I've added glue to that line. Now I'm going to take my black piece of paper and I'm going to hold it down and run my finger across, hoping that that glue spreads out. And if you did it right, you really should not have any glue oozing out. All right. So now I'm going to slide this one up. This is a skinnier strip, so with this one, I want to make sure that I don't use a lot of glue for my line. For this top one, I could have used a little bit more glue just because of the thickness. Okay, so now that one's on there, nice and gently going across. This one I'm going to slide down because they're so close. For some of you that colored outside of the lines, the thickness of the strip or just the strip alone is a nice way of hiding some of that coloring. Okay. So last one going horizontally. And now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to go all the way over to this spot. And I'm going to pretend that my black strips that are horizontal are not there. I'm going to go right over the top. Lay that one right over the top of that. And then we got to make sure that we rub it down. If glue does come out the edges, don't smear it over the top. Just leave it, let it dry. It'll usually dry clear. All right, the next one. This is a thicker strip, so I'm going to do double lines because this strip is so thick. So I'm doing it really close together. Then I'll lay this one over the top. Okay. And the last one. Nice thin strip. Okay. Now I have all of them glued. I can push down anywhere that I see that it's starting to kind of lift up. And that'll help ensure that it stays where we want it. Again, trying not to smear any of my glue around. And the one thing that I didn't go over, because I had enough skinny ones and then thicker ones. If all of your strips are this thickness, you might want to, before you even start, you might want to cut right down the middle of some of them so that you have some skinny ones, some medium ones, and some thicker ones. Again, if you don't want to, that's fine. But for those of you that are looking at your strips and you've noticed before you even start that they're all the same thickness, you might want to cut a couple right down the middle. All right. Hope this all made sense. We have one more thing to do. So please put this in a nice safe spot. Next class, we're going to talk about all of these pieces that come off the edge and what we're going to do with them. So please don't cut them off. Wait till next class. And then we are also uploading these. So next week we will be submitting them. So watch that video or wait for that video next week as well. All right. Hope all is well. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.